why didn't you remind me to record the session? So where was I? So what they did was that they immersed their language and they immersed themselves in the language's culture and everything that has to do with the language as a whole, right? So what they did was they listened to a lot of music, they read a lot of books, they watched a lot of movies, and what that did was that they subconsciously, we call it in language and we call it in our English teaching education field, called natural acquisition, which means that you were able to pick up something without effort. And this sticks to your brain, and this becomes more natural when you start using it yourself, right? And so this is what you should think about when you're trying to have this language proficiency or this goal that you would like to reach. So what they did, like I mentioned before, is that they basically lived the language. They were able to connect with all of the culture that they saw through the movies, the series, the songs, and the books that they read. And I kid you not, their level and their language proficiency is no less as native as compared to mine. So it's a great way to work on your language. And I think this applies to every language, not just English, but it applies to every single language. Where were we? So, Reem, long story short, language is not, if you want to be a native-like speaker, it's not a subject that should be studied. I don't recommend that you do that. When this happens, when the whole studying academically and things like that, when that happens, what happens is that your brain treats it like an equation or a mathematical subject. And so when you're acquiring it and when you're using it, it becomes robotic or unnatural. And this means that it's not very easy. And when you're speaking, it becomes a lot harder for people to understand you or to relate to you. And even yourself, you're unable to recall language easier. I'd like to apologize for my voice. I have a cold. I'm recovering from a cold, so I feel like I'm talking from like the very tips of my nose. So forgive me if I sound strange or if there's something unclear, let me know and I'll repeat. But yeah, happy to have you all here. Good evening. Hello, Fatima. Hello, Mona. Hello, Muhammad. Mr. Mustafa, I'm speaking fast? I thought I was slowing down. My bad. I'm sorry. Do you want me to? I'll try to slow down a little bit. Anwar, in the beginning, if I join, I will take the course B as a group. Anwar, can you explain your question, please? I don't understand. Iman, can you hear me? Let's see. Muhammad said, I need to increase my vocabulary. Hold on. There we go. Muhammad said, I need to increase my vocabulary, improve my speaking and listening skills. Well, I gave you the hack that I firmly believe in, and so far I have seen the best results with. If you're doing it for IELTS purposes, Muhammad, then I highly recommend you get an IELTS workbook or an IELTS booklet. There are so many vocabulary booklets for IELTS, and I think one of my colleagues, Mr. Ali Sayed, has an incredible book that he just released in collaboration and under the supervision of Dr. Khalil for vocabulary, and it's amazing. It's pretty cool. It's clear? Nice. Thank you so much, Anas. I appreciate it. My voice is clear. Awesome. Reem said, I like to engage myself in a lot of English activities. Try to speak in English as much as I can during the day. Perfect. I do listen to English podcasts and write in English as well. And I read novels, and I do understand what I read and listen. And I even use phrases and idioms native speakers use. So can I call myself a native-like speaker, or do I need to be tested first? And thank you so much for answering the question. Reem, basically, I guess I'd have to meet you, find out, but you can for sure take a proficiency test and see where you're at. I mean, it never harms. It's always a great way to find out where you are linguistically and how you want to work on it. The one thing that I'm really happy about, Reem, that you did not bring up is whether or not, and I hate this question so much, whether or not American English is better than British English, or which one is the more accurate language to pursue or to learn or to acquire. And I feel like that's not fair. That's not fair for you to say, hey, one dialect or one accent is better than the other. Even though I know, written in England, we're the base and they're the form. If that's where the language started, I get it. But it is about culture differences, right? So the different cultures are a thing. And so if you are more inclined, or if you're going to be working in an area that has more English culture, then I highly recommend you do British. So then you're more able to understand their idioms and their vocabulary and their structures and so on and so forth, because it's culture based. It's not language per se only. It's not an equation like that. And then we've got the American. It's kind of become the norm because of Hollywood and how famous and popular the movies and series are. So it's become a lot easier for people to understand it. And I think Hollywood kind of resembles Egypt, if you think about it. So because of the Egyptian industry, entertainment industry specifically, all of the Middle East can understand Egyptian accents. But when it comes to understanding the other cultures, it's a little bit more challenging. And you can think of it that way. NG, it's all about practicing, definitely. It's all about practicing, and practicing isn't just output. So here's something that really ticks me off a little bit when we're studying a new language. A lot of people believe that if I speak a lot, if I speak enough, my language will get better. If I speak enough, but they never care about the input that they're getting. So I've got 30 words, right? I've got 30% of the language that I want to use. And I start practicing it. Sure, your speaking skills in general, in terms of being more confident or having a little bit better skills of like communication, sure, that'll get better. But will it really bring your level up, or will it raise your level to the, like, linguistically speaking? No, because you're not working on input, right? And this is something that me and Dr. Khalid always say in our classes: listening. Oof, the amount of improvement that you will find and you will see and you will feel and you will produce just by listening is incredible. And we're not talking about just listening for like you're listening to music. I mean like active listening, right? So we're talking about watching a show that you're actually interested in and then being able to recall the events in English, right? You're able to recall the events in English and you'll find that you have gathered so much vocabulary, a lot. So practicing goes both ways. Practicing your listening and increasing your input through reading and writing and reading, sorry, and then your output through writing and speaking as well. Nice. If I start this course in the future, I will be alone or that's your question, Anwar. No, it's a group. So my course is a conversation course. A conversation course that's dedicated to providing you with an area to speak, to practice. So like Ng mentioned, it's about practicing, yes. But I know that the hard part in studying or learning a new language is finding the space to be able to practice. It's not about only the input that you have, because input you can do on your own if you're dedicated enough. But being able to find a place where you're able to practice your language and to speak, that's a different case, right? And that's where the challenge comes from. And it's not about only speaking correctly, it's also about the speaking skill itself. So it's a skill that needs to be developed. You can't just be like, oh, all right, great, so I got to be more confident. And then theoretically speaking, that's all you need, right? It's got to be more. You got to actually do it yourself. I say this all the time. Speaking is the hardest skill to develop in a new language because it's the skill where you can't depend on theories. You can't be like, okay, cool. I'll just sit down and write an essay and I'm good with grammar. It's not like that. It's got to be hands-on, and you got to actually practice speaking itself. And you can't do that alone most of the time. And that's why it's the hardest skill to develop. The conversation course that I provide, it involves, or it has, two major parts, which includes not just an area for you to speak with me, but also with your classmates as well. I believe in communication skills, which means that you need to be able to converse and speak and talk with several different mindsets and different personalities and apply the languages that you have. Obviously, they are going to be monitored conversations. where I will give you feedback on them. However, speaking with only one human being, I firmly believe through my experience, is never a good thing on the long run. And it's always better to have multiple experiences and multiple conversations with different mindsets to enhance your skills faster, right? You need it for fluency. All right, Muhammad, that makes sense. Fluency is a package deal to some extent. Fluency means not just accuracy, but also flow and your ability to think in English and your ability to express your thoughts comfortably, right? So it's a package deal, and it's got to do with how you're going to be able to produce your language as a whole, right? But for people with intermediate levels, and this is mostly the level that I work with, starting from intermediate and up, I don't, before intermediate, we need to be a lot more confident with our language, and we need to have a lot more bases in order for us to take that to the next level, because speaking in English is scary when it's not your first language, right? It's a very scary thing. And so many people, أنا فاهم أنتي بتقولي إيه بس مش عارف أرد. This sentence has been said to me more times than you can possibly imagine. And it's fair. يعني, of course, that's completely normal, right? So the idea to go from أنا فاهم بس مش قادر أرد to actually replying is a scary step, right? So in order for us to do this, we got to be a little bit more comfortable with ourselves and our level so that I can push you and force you to speak. So because of that reason, I start from intermediate, right? And yes, for anybody thinking, if any of my students are here, yes, I'm an angel. I push my students very hard. But wallah, it's for your own good, no? Muhammad, you are never late. You are never late, Muhammad. Never, never late. It's all about time in terms of like dedication. So people ask me this question. Thank you so much, Muhammad, for highlighting this. People ask me, how much time will it take me, or do you think it will take me to improve my language? And so here's what I say. It depends on how much English you're going to squeeze in your day every day. For example, one person can improve in 1 month, but in that month, they have listened and read and wrote and spoken in English for minimum 3 hours every day. So we're talking about 3 times 30. That's like what, 90? I'm really bad at math. 90 hours, right? So they've come up with 90 hours. However, another person in 1 month only had 1 hour a day. So they ended up by the end of the month with 30 hours of English. Who do you think is going to have more improvement in their language? It's a given, right? So depending on the effort that you put in your language journey, and depending on how much English you have in your day, you will see results faster. Basic common sense, yeah? But is it ever late, Muhammad? Never. I will take that to my grave, my friend. It is never too late. No such thing as late, ever. If anything, if you think about it, we're learning new things every day about language learning, about psychology, about linguistic anxiety, about people learning second languages, and no, you're fine. You're just fine, my friend. I need to, not for IELTS, I need to improve for general language because I will travel to the USA after 2 weeks, so I need to improve my conversation skills. Perfect, Muhammad. Then you're at exactly the right spot. Inshallah, that's basically where I'm going to be focusing my expertise of general language production and general language conversation as well. I believe in the language as a whole. And that's why I have this course, or that's why I'm giving this course. American is under Afef, thank you so much. All right, so I don't know why. Tell me which side you guys are on, but so many people tell me that, hey, no, the British language or the British accent is a lot clearer for me. I am capable of understanding the British accent much more than the American accent. Now, you guys tell me, okay, because Afef here is on my side, okay? She and I both agree that the American accent is a lot clearer compared to the British accent. You guys tell me which one you guys are in, okay? Marwa, definitely, my dear. It is not impossible, and I know that you can do it. And that's where the English club comes in, the conversation club, actually. We have a conversation club where we start having these clubs outside of the course as well. And hopefully, like sometimes they are successful and sometimes people get lazy, unfortunately. But when people are committed, it's a great source of finding a speaking partner. And when you do that, you have someone to force you to speak with every day. And because you have someone to speak with, what you normally would do is that you would look up a movie or a series for you guys to discuss together, right? I think American English is clear. Yay, Muhammad Atif, thank you. Muhammad Sayed, I want to enhance my idioms and accent. You want to enhance your idioms and accent. Vocabulary speaking. All right, I need to know why. Are we talking about general use, like what Muhammad said, or are we talking about IELTS? Because I know that in order to get a specific score in IELTS, and by the way, for people wondering, this is the difference between general development of your language and developing your language for an IELTS test specifically, is that there are specific bands that you have to follow and rules in order to get the grade that you want. It's not just about how good your language is. It's about your management skills. It's about your your organization and your time management specifically. You're working for Hollywood, Ibrahim? I can't imagine that. How is that going? It's quite scandalous. I've seen so many scandals. It's quite weird. How the course will improve our ability to speak. So as I mentioned earlier, Ronya, the conversation course basically works with two aspects: your linguistic aspect and your nonverbal communication or communication aspect. So as a language, there are two sides. There's the language side, which includes vocabulary, grammar, and so on and so forth. And then because I'm focusing on the speaking skill, there's the skill side, which includes how you're able to understand the person in front of you and how you deliver your message and how you express yourself. And so what my course provides is a little bit of both and the best of both worlds, as I'd like to say, where we are not only going to be trying to help you build a little bit more of a habit or a daily routine of including English in your language, but also you're going to be practicing your language not only with me, but with your classmates as well. And this gives you the chance to be able to actually interact with different mindsets and different experiences and different personalities. And what this does, it builds your skill to enable you to start speaking with different people and different levels within this area of you using correct English, because I'm going to be there breathing down your neck, making sure that you are producing the language correctly. So it's going to be a mix of correcting, it's going to be a mix of practicing, it's going to be a mix of presentations and listening to things like series and movies and stuff like that. And I've also got coordinators helping me, which monitor your output and ask you questions for you to reply to, and they give you feedback on your production as well. Anas, I learn a lot, read a lot, listen, but I can't speak. That's because, so here's the thing, Anas. When you're reading, usually this means you'll be able to write. When you're listening, usually it means you'll be able to speak. However, if you don't actually speak, you're not going to be able to speak. And this is why speaking is the hardest skill to develop. You can't improve it unless you do it. So no amount of listening is going to prepare you for that first step of speaking. This first step is always the hardest step. But when you take that first step, it's always great. Everything you do with listening will add to your speaking, and you're going to be amazing. I'm not Egyptian, but I live in Egypt, so I get what you said about there's no good or bad English or accent. Depends on the culture that you're. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Well done. And no need to thank me. I look forward to seeing you soon. Listening plus practicing English equals fluency. Very good, Inji. It's as simple as that. I have lack of vocabulary. That's why I couldn't go through long conversations with someone. I disagree, Hiba. You need to. Okay, so can lack of vocabulary hinder my conversation abilities? Yes. But is it always the case? No. All right. So if we're talking about a conversation that is professional, or if we're talking about a conversation in like one of the parts of the speaking exam hiba in IELTS, then maybe. But other than that, I have difficulty saying that. My problem in the conversation is hearing or saying the other side talk. How to overcome this? Exactly. Nurhan, so here's the thing. Something that I wasn't surprised, but I realized later on in my career is that a lot of second language learners, by the way, tell me if I'm speaking too fast or if you need me to repeat, okay? Something I realized is that the second language learners don't know how to listen. So when they're listening, they are looking for words, right? So Nurhan, what you're doing when someone is talking to you, يعني أنا سمعت كل حاجة بس ما فهمتش كلمة, right? This is because انتي بتدوري على كلام, which is not good. What we're doing when we are talking to someone is that we need to focus on the message that they are giving. Most likely, they are using vocabulary that you already know. Maybe the pronunciation is different. Maybe they are mispronouncing something, right? But the idea is, at the end of the day, that you are actually listening to the message. And this is going to trigger the vocabulary that you already have. Tamam? However, if I am listening and looking for words, I'm going to get individual words without meaning. So I end up thinking that I don't understand. And this is logical because I have a bunch of words with no context. So of course I will not understand. Make sense, Nurhan? And this is what I mean by comprehension skill or conversation skill. The skill itself to be able to understand the message being delivered, and then I will look at the details. But I cannot look at the details first and then expect to understand the picture. Make sense? NG, I see you. Look at NG hiding. Let's see. Most common sentence between students. Yes, Reem, exactly. Is this course suitable for 11-year-old child? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Mohaka, if you can please share your contact as well. For kids, we have a children's diploma, and I also believe there is a conversation for kids, but it's not with me. It's with a very prestigious colleague who's in charge of the kids' diplomas in the kids section at Engli-Vision. So you can contact Miss Mohaga and ask her about what kids courses we have are available, and she will let you know. Okay, Lamar? Ooh, Limar. Limar, not Lamar. Interesting. What is the difference between a conversation course and a business language course? So a business language course, Anwar, usually means that I'm going to be focusing on your industry, and we have something called jargons. Jargons are expressions that literally mean something, but within the industry mean something else. And usually they might not have correct grammar, or they might be spelled incorrectly, right? But you can call the jargons can kind of be like business idioms, if you will. And so a business course covers these jargons within these industries and cover formal language that you will need to use in email. So it will focus a lot on the writing part of the essays, reports, emails, and so on and so forth, including the other vocabulary and lexis of expressions and phrasal verbs that people use within business context. A conversation course is more general, where, for example, if I were to give you an example inside a company, when you're talking to someone in your break room, or you're, like with someone in the break room, it's different from when you're conversing with someone in the meeting room, right? So that's the difference between both. Wafa, how could you? Wafa is saying that British is clearer than American. My heart. Ahmad Hussein is mentioning the Indian accent. See, here's the thing. I know that they get a lot of hate because the pronunciation is not clear. But to be completely fair, these guys have very good lexis. Like, they have really good vocabulary, right? But their accent is, yeah, I agree. Okay, the accent is not very nice. It's harder to understand what they're saying because they're speaking without like clear enunciation. NG's on my team. Let's go. Any thoughts for improving speaking skills? I don't want to state the obvious and address the elephant in the room, Muhammad Atif, but speaking, right? So the more you speak, the better, right? And so speaking skills, the best thing that you can do other than actually speaking, and by actually speaking, I mean go to 9th Street and talk with a random foreigner, or for example, meet up with someone and start practicing your language. Other than those things, what you can do is you can also start watching things. So what happens with watching things? Hi, Joe. When you watch things, what happens is your mind starts building this connection between the meaning and the events. And so when you want to start telling someone a memory or a situation, or you want to describe something, you will start recollecting and recalling all this information that you previously saw and start using it yourself, right? And so this is why people start using the past tense correctly when they've seen the past tense being used a lot. And this is the best way to improve your speaking skills. When you hear someone speaking and you listen and you watch TED Talks, series, by the way, sitcoms are wonderful for your language because they're very rich in culture. But if you can't at the beginning, it's fine. You can do something else. It's all right too. When you've seen a lot of things, you're gonna start you're gonna start having this confidence to speak with people in a way that it's a lot comfortable for you, and you're gonna be able to express yourself more. And the more you actually tangibly do it, the better you're gonna get. It's a skill. It's like going to the gym. The more you exercise your speaking skill, the better it's going to get. Make sense? I know life is not fair, Muhammad, but c'est la vie. Sayed, do you think mastering languages is a talent originally or a skill? I think it's a skill. And though a talent can play a part in how fast and how many you can acquire a language or master a language, I still think that it's a skill. So if you apply the techniques that you need to apply and dedicate the time that you should be dedicating, you should be able to master it just fine. But it is harder for some people compared to others, which is fair, especially if there are a lot of closely related languages too, like of the same family, right? So some people might have a knack for languages, and usually this is because they are a little bit more not confident. I want to say not even aggressive. I want to say that they're more adventurous. They're willing to give it a shot compared to people who are more cautious and scared. And so in this case, probably you would think it's talent, but in reality, it's just risk. That's all. iPhone, let me know and I will slow down, my dear. Omar, can you do me a favor and type your question down? What's going on? When will the conversation course start? Isra, my dear, we are going to start at the beginning of May, I believe. Inshallah, we're going to start at the beginning of May. We're giving a chance for people to sign up. I think we have limited spots left. So make sure you sign up as fast as you can. I work with US citizens, UK, sorry, citizens. My cold is just, mashallah. I work with UK citizens and their accent is not yes. Okay, so UK citizens, I guess it depends on their dialect, right? Because there are so many areas in the UK that just, oh my gosh, the Cockney accent. Oh Lord, it is difficult. It is difficult. So their accents are very difficult. I completely agree. Websites to improve my language. Let's see. Were we talking about academic language, Sara, or are we talking about English as a general skill? Are we talking about speaking? Or which part of the language are we talking about? Do you think I need a course to meet the score? Yes, definitely, Muhammad. This is a piece of advice I've learned after I've gotten older. But if you are planning on taking the IELTS, never go in without an IELTS preparation course. Don't do it. It's a waste of time and effort. Always take a preparation course before a big certificate or a big exam, because They are going to give you the tips and tricks that will save you so much effort, so much time, and so much money, right? Because it is a business at the end of the day. These certificates and these really big exams are businesses. What they're looking for are markers. They're looking for specific things, no discussions, no questions asked, copy paste. Let's do this, right? How long is my course, Osama? My course is 1 month long. It is it's 1 month long. It is 5 weeks. I've got 2 sessions a week. Each session is 2 hours long, and there are some assignments and things in between. It's a total of 10 hours. 5 sessions. About 5 weeks. Let's see. Are the conversation course lectures online or offline? They are online, Marwa. So they are online, and we talk. How long will be the course? We've answered that. Will the course hours be enough, or will we need another one? So here's the thing. I cover the basics in my course, and if you do everything that I say, you should be able to see some very good improvement. If you don't, I cry and then my mom kills you. But that's beside the point. So it depends on what level you want to reach, Rania. So are we looking for a level that you want to be able to comfortably speak with humans? Or are we looking at a proficiency of going like advanced and higher and so on and so forth? The levels I cover are intermediate, upper intermediate, and advanced. I can understand very well what I listen to, but it's hard for me to speak. Yeah. NG, it's hard to speak because it's not just a language aspect. There's also the psychological aspect, there's the skill aspect, there's the time aspect, there's a practice aspect. So like I said before, speaking like this, guys, I really want you to understand this. You being unable to speak has nothing to do with how good or bad your language is or how good or bad you are as a human. But it does have to do with your ability to be a little bit more confident, and it takes time. It takes time. So be patient with yourself and be confident, right? And be nice to yourself, right? And you'll see some really good improvement. If you're talking general, exactly, Hiba, yes. Afraid of making mistakes, afraid of being misunderstood, afraid of pronouncing something incorrectly. All of these are valid fears, and they are legitimate fears, and they are always there. I can't speak in topics easily. Osama, that's probably because you lack the practice for it. Omar, write your question, dude. Rasha, I miss you too, Rasha. I think I just saw your Facebook this morning, I believe. How to overcome the fear to speak in front of others. I feel embarrassed to speak. My brain becomes blank while speaking it. Aha. So here's the thing. As I mentioned earlier, it's got to do with more than just language. So it's something that you actually have to do. And if you look up phobias or if you look up the psychological thing about phobias, the only way to overcome them or to get better at them is for you to actually overcome them and face them, right? So when I looked up phobias and I tried to understand how can one overcome a phobia, I was surprised by the reality of the psychologists being like, yeah, there's no way around it. Sorry. You gotta actually do it. So, nice. All right. Happy that you got it, Nurhan. Let's see. This out the session. They are on the chat, Muhammad Ahmed. Let's see. Speaking when I focus grammar, I lose the exactly. So when you focus on the grammar, you lose the vocabulary. When you focus on the vocabulary, you lose the grammar. And so that's why when we're speaking, we focus on the message. When I'm focusing on the message, I start building this thing where I am capable of recalling vocabulary correctly that helps me express myself. And I don't think in Arabic first because I'm focusing on the message. And so when I'm focusing on the message, I don't need to think about Arabic. I don't need to think about the words specifically. And I don't need to think about the grammar. Because already I am trying to tell Omar that I need him to send the message now. And so automatically I will use the present tense. I will not use the past tense because I want him to understand that it's happening now. Send the message now. Make sense? Is it suitable for 14-year-olds? I think they're gonna have to be older because I sometimes I'm plus 18 a little bit. So no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um, 14-year-olds, I mean, the only thing that would stop 14-year-olds from feeling comfortable in my class is probably because the average age in my class or my sessions are usually around 20 and up. So 21, 22 and up are usually the ages that I have in my classes. And so a 14-year-old probably will not feel very comfortable, and they won't be able to build easier connections with their classmates because of their age. So again, 14-year-olds still would fall within the preteens. So please make sure you contact Miss Mohaga as well. Miss Mohaga, please tell me that you are sending the message on the group. Wait, I have your number here. Hold on. Let me share her number so that you guys know who to contact. There you go. The lovely Miss Mohaga, the ever incredible Miss Mohaga. She is the senior or the manager, the coordinating manager, and she saves lives. And so go ahead and contact her for further details about the kids' courses, about my courses, and so on. How many people will be in the group? Because no, Honor, don't worry. I don't have 100 people. I think I would probably die. The maximum number in my sessions are 20. And that's just because I believe in having groups and group activities. And so it's a lot more fun when I talk with someone different every day, or I build a connection with someone different, and I have different mindsets, not just the same people. So 20 is a nice number for us to be able to interact with different mindsets. Because I deal with many foreign people. Exactly, Aisha. So this is the thing. When So Aisha, okay, Aisha, forgive me. I'm going to read your message because it's adorable. All right. So Aisha says, I want to enhance speaking because I deal with many foreign people daily, but I feel uncomfortable. And sometimes they say jokes, but I do not understand if they're joking or not. And this is where culture plays in the whole language part, you guys. And this is why I say series and movies are your best friend, right? And so watching these series and movies will help you understand not the language part only, not vocabulary. By the way, for the person asking why they can read and write but they can't speak, this is why. So movies and series will help you understand the intonation, so you will understand sarcasm, you'll understand jokes, you'll understand how things are serious or not, and so on. This is done through series and movies, right? But if I'm learning something from a book, there's only so much that the book can give you, especially when there's not nonverbal communication. Because how else are you going to pick it up, right? So, Aisha, believe me, you're not alone. But inshallah, hopefully, this course will help a lot. How I manage the course? How I manage the course, Anwar, is that you do what I tell you to do, or I cry and then I kill you. I'm an angel. That's basically the management skills that I need for my course. Um, no, I'm kidding. Basically, that's how I manage my course. I've got speaking activities, and you guys are going to be required to interact with each other, and you're going to be interacting with me. I will be correcting your mistakes, and I will be asking for assignments to increase your input so that you're able to use it in the sessions as well, inshallah. Let's see, 2 children, 11 and 14. Lamar, make sure that you contact Miss Mohaga, take a screenshot, and go ahead and contact her so that she can give you the details of the children classes. Dua, the duration of the course, my dear, is a month. It is it 5? No, it's not 5 sessions. It's 10 sessions. Is it 10 sessions? Yes, it's 10 sessions, 20 hours. So every session is 2 hours, 2 sessions a week for 5 weeks. Yeah, pretty sure. My brain is very fuzzy right now because of all of the cold medication I'm taking. So please make sure you contact Miss Mohaga for all these logistic details. Alhamdulillah, she's my lifesaver. So she takes care of like the timing, the schedules, and the duration. So any information that I've said that's incorrect, she's going to be able to provide you with it as well. My greatest problem is the lack of fluency and academic writing. What should I do? So fluency indicates speaking, and writing indicates a completely different thing, Ahmed. Which one are we focusing on? And why do you need them? After the course, can I talk with a native speaker professionally? Yes, Muhammad. Like the idea is that the course is many levels, my friend. So it depends on what level you want to reach and what that's gonna go. If I want to teach in the UAE, I asked here, they told me IELTS is mandatory, but I don't know which IELTS should I take or what should I do? I feel lost. Can you guide me? Rabab, I believe, my dear, you need to take the academic IELTS. So that is a mandatory necessity there. The what is it called? IELTS, academic IELTS. And that's other than the teaching certificate. You need both. Thought it. Your session will start on the 26th of April. 26th. Today's the 20th. I think we're going to start around the 1st of May, my friend. Miss Maga, please reach out to Tariq Hosni as well. You can confirm. Is the course suitable for me as I have completed a preparation course for IELTS but still need to promote? Yeah, of course, Mr. Hassan. You're more than welcome to join. We work on the general conversation, so your speaking skills should be top-notch when you do the things I ask. Listen to Aya, we see results. Don't listen to Aya, she kills you. For the person asking about my management. I know mastering a language takes time, and I spent 1 year trying to make some improvements, but I think that I still have areas for development. What is your piece of advice? It depends on what exactly you want to work on, Ihab. I'm not sure if you're the Ihab who joined me a few months back or not, but it depends on where you are on the level and what level you want to reach as well. Which aspects do you feel like you need to develop and why you need to do it as well? This will guide us in how to address these areas of improvement. Oh, Marwa, that's adorable. Marwa, I am so happy to have you. Thank you so much for joining. Faisal, Faisal is having problems connecting the audio. Websites to improve my speaking, Sara, then I would highly recommend AI. There's something called Elsa, I believe. There's Elsa, there's Hello. There are a couple of really great AI websites for speaking practice. And so those would be incredible. I highly recommend those. But also make sure, like I mentioned earlier, do not neglect the listening. So the more you listen, the better you are at picking up the nonverbal communication skills that you need, right? Muhammad mentioned Mo Salah can talk and deal with the new community that's... Yeah, of course. So I'm not sure if Mo Salah took English courses or not, but speaking from experience, when you immerse yourself in a language, you are more than likely than to be able to speak things. How much? Rasha, how much what, my dear? Sorry, how much what? When will you start the advanced level course? Musallam, hello! I think we're starting, inshallah, at the beginning of May. Long time no see, my friend. I hope you're doing well in the desert, wherever you are. Low level from scratch. Should I start this course with you or will the center with me from the beginning? Anwar, what makes you think that you are from scratch? Like you're able to give... Are you Google translating? Talk to Miss Mohaga and she will be able to tell you. iPhone, yes, المحاضرة كلها English. Hi. I don't speak Arabic at all in the session. Today I'm speaking Arabic just because I had to welcome Musallam, my advanced student, so we'll see how that goes. Hazim, I can take this course after finishing level... Yes, after finishing B1 is fine. Also before B1, you would still be qualified. My intermediate starts around an A2+. I'm joining listening to you speak because you're Arabic. NG, let's go. NG is mentioning that the British speakers usually have a bit of a boring accent when they're giving... All right, so here's the thing. All right, don't give me a lot of hate. But a lot of British speakers tend to be a little bit snobbish. Like they're a bit arrogant when they're speaking. So no hate to them, just saying. Speaking as an objective party speaker. That's all. We will not go further on that so that certain people will not kill me. I want to improve my language for work. Hazim, you're at the right spot, my friend. Nice to meet you too, Shayma. I've been in that course before. It was a great experience for me, and you are really Angel Miss L. Yeah, you have. There you are. I hope you finished, friends. I hope you have. iPhone Tabiani, can you give me your name so I can stop calling you iPhone? The idea is that first you're going to be joining the course in a general course first, and then when you reach the intermediate level, once you've reached the intermediate level, you will join the course with me for conversation, where I'm going to focus mostly on speaking, right? And that's how you're going to be able to improve your speaking. Ihab, I hope you're speaking. I hope you're listening a lot, and I hope you've been able to use your language. I don't know if you're still in Egypt or if you've gone to a different country. I hope that you're safe. I think you were going to the UAE. I'm not sure. I hope you're safe and I hope you're well. It is great, Rasha. The idea is that I want you to stop thinking in Arabic, so of course I'm going to force you to speak in English all the time. وهذا الكورس كامل. iPhone, I don't give any other courses with Engli-Vision except for conversation. I don't have any time, I'm sorry. So I only teach conversation courses with intermediate. But I have incredible friends and incredible colleagues, wallah. They are amazing, amazing people. Dr. Mona and Dr. Hela and Dr. Hadir, they are incredible. This is for the general English course, the different levels. Mr. or Miss iPhone, لو سمحتوا, take a screenshot and contact Miss Mohoga. How to improve the ability to speak fluently. You should know this by now. Ihab, speaking fluently comes with practice. And alhamdulillah, from your writing, I can tell that you're finally not translating from Arabic. So this means that inshallah, your fluency has improved even a little bit as well. So the next step, Ihab, is for you to continue speaking. There's an AI application or website called Elsa. Take a look at it. I've heard very good feedback. I haven't checked it out myself, but a lot of my students give me very good things about it. So check it out and give it a shot. From first conversation, come in. Nada, hello, yeah, Nada. All right, Nada, take a screenshot of Miss Mohoga, please. Miss Mohoga, is it for younger ages or for beginner? Miss Mohoga is the coordinator, and she is in charge of everything at Engli-Vision. She will guide you to the right course, and she will give you all the details of my course as well. Wa alaikum assalam, Nihad. Can I open the mic? Sahar, I think your mic is not open, my dear. Can we help Sahar out? I think we're almost done as well. Can we share your Facebook page? Yes, there is an Engli-Vision Facebook page. How much time do we have left? Muhammad, we are done. We are all done, my friend. Will we make an exam to know our level? Yes. So let's do this right now. What you're going to do is, if you're interested in joining the course with me, inshallah, you are going to take a screenshot. You're going to message Miss Mohoga. She will give you some questions and requirements for you to do. What you're going to do is you're going to go to my link, to my WhatsApp, and you're going to send me a voice note answering these questions in as much detail as possible. So please try to answer with sentences, full sentences, and not words, not like one words. When you the more details you give me, the better I can assess you and put you in the right level. After that, I'm going to add you to my sheet, and Miss Mohoga will contact you about the payment details. That's it. So assessment, give me a voice note, Miss Mohoga contacts you. Simple as that. In the UAE, and I want to improve my language professionally. Nice! You went to the UAE. Let's go. Professionally speaking. So are you working at a company, Ihab, or are you working at a school? I finished intermediate level with Miss Helat and Ma'am. Can I attend? Definitely, Muhammad. I would be more than happy to have you. Please do. 30 and level B2. So what? Anwar, you're doing perfectly fine. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being a B2? That's awesome. Farid, yes, it is online. Where is the screenshot? Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see the screen, Miss Mohoga? Her number? You guys see that? Nice. I forget all that I've learned. That's normal. When you're shy and you forget, that's usually what happens. Yes. Wagdi, go ahead. Wagdi, Ulli. What's going on? You can ask me in Arabic. Go ahead. Sahar, I can't think in English. That's normal because you learned through Arabic. When you've learned through Arabic, that means that when you're trying to recall something, you're probably going to recall it in Arabic as well. For this is completely normal. Muhammad Abdurrazik, that's the placement test. These questions are the placement test that you're going to be giving me so I can grade your level and assess where you need to go. Are there any materials provided after joining but before starting the course? Hassan, I don't understand that. Shayma, come join me in my conversation course. Go ahead and contact Ms. Swaga. I am working at a company, but I need to develop my skills related to the 4 skills. Nice. Well done, Ihab. All right. So then you need to start. I would recommend next. I would recommend a business course for you, Ahab. A business language, an English business course would be great. If you message me on WhatsApp, I can send you material that I use for my business course. It's really beneficial and has a lot of really good audios. What about general course? The general courses are with different instructors, not with me. But Miss Mohga will let you guys know. Yeah, she sent on the chat. So iPhone and Wagdi, please make sure that you guys contact Miss Mohga. Sarah, if you're still here and asking about your kids courses, make sure that you contact Miss Mohga as well, please. How long I speak like that? Wallah, I don't know. I've been sick for a very long time. I'm pretty sure it's COVID, but alhamdulillah, I'm a lot better now. Thank you. No point. I mean, I need to change my Korean work as it. Nice. All right, Ihab. All right, cool. So you need to start taking like teaching. Like, have you graduated from a teaching institute or faculty? Hind, contact Miss Mohga and she will send you the placement test. لسه داخل اللايف متأخر للأسف ما سمعتش حضرتك من الأول وضحي الكورس التفاصيل هياخد من مستوى إيه ونوصل لإيه إن شاء الله. No worries at all, Wagdi. So, I start from intermediate. تمام? I start from intermediate and usually I go up until advanced. Every course is 1 month. It's 10 sessions. Each session is 2 hours. And that's it. So, Bardu, by the way, you guys can take the recorded session in case you've missed out on some of the details. And I know the internet isn't stable. I've seen a lot of people come and go, and for some reason, we're limited at only 100 users today. So, contact Miss Mohaga, and I think she will be able to share with you the recorded session in case you've missed out on anything. All right. Ihab graduated from faculty bars. All right, great, Ihab. Do you have any teaching experience? Ihab, message me on WhatsApp. Find my number and message me right now. All right. No worries at all, Wagdi. Thank you so much for coming. Hibba, thank you so much as well. I need to improve my listening skills. You need to improve your listening skills. Or are we talking about this for IELTS, Hibba? Because it's different. If you have, Muhammad Nuruddin, if you have professional meetings on a daily basis, then yes, I recommend a business course for you. It's faster. This is what I mean. If you're talking about a general course where you want to use the language not just for work, but for all purposes, then a conversation course. Thank you guys so much for coming. Is there specific material? Yes, the material, Noura, that you take is material prepared by me and collected by me. So the material is something that I customize according to my students. We are all done for today. Thank you guys so much for coming. You guys have been incredible. I'm very sorry about my voice one more time. And make sure that you guys have taken the screenshot from Ms. Mohga for further details. All right? Yes, Wafat, hurry. What's going on? Wafat has a question. Type faster. What did you do, Wafat? Muhammad, are they daily task? What do you mean, Muhammad? Are they daily task? I always need someone to help me in learning. Yes, Muhammad, that's normal. Especially with speaking. You can't speak by yourself. Practicing the language requires someone else. A friend of mine is asking for a course for her blind daughter. Special needs classes. Ooh, that would be interesting. All right. Wafat, make sure you text Ms. Mohaga about this in detail because we would need to find out more. I'm not sure if Engli-Vision provides it or not, but that would be an incredible idea, actually. So please contact Ms. Mohaga, okay? Take a screenshot. Also, we would need to find out more about her age and her background and so on and so forth. So contact Ms. Mohaga and let her know details about how old this young learner is and the things that she's looking for. All right? Wafat, I look forward to seeing you, all right? She's 9 years old. She's still a baby. Okay. Contact Ms. Mohaga and see how how it would work out with the kids instructor. It's online, so like it depends mostly on visual aids to compensate for the lack of physical, you know? Oh no, my dear, just text her. No, it's the WhatsApp. Wafet, take a screenshot of the number. Miss Mahaga, can you please send it in the chat again? Ranim, you don't have to finish the general first. It depends on where you are. If you're already intermediate, then you're fine. Wafet, here's the number. Copy paste it and text Miss Mahaga, please. All right? Good girl. Text her and find out more there. All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining. I apologize for my horrible voice, and I hope you guys are all safe and healthy, inshallah, wherever you are. Looking forward to meeting you guys soon. Bye-bye. Let's call it a day, shall we?